Good morning, everybody. Super G Extra One here. Now, last week I successfully uploaded a video of my Marvel Cinematic Universe Blu-ray collection, but I was still unhappy with it. Despite the fact I filmed the live stream, the quality was clear when I filmed it. It just still came out blurry, so I'm doing a non-live stream video. Once again, it's also raining. This is the second Saturday in a row it's raining, so I have the phone flashlight on. So let's hope that this will be a successful. And just for anybody who didn't see it, so sorry for deleting that. Anyway, I'm now gonna, like I said, I now have all 20 Marvel movies on Blu-ray. As you can see, yep. Got all 20 of them. And we're going to show all of these in order of their theatrical release date. So let's get started. We're going to start with Phase 1, starting with Iron Man, the very first Marvel Cinematic Universe movie ever released, being released in movie theaters in May of 2008. And as you can see, here's the spine. In the back, a thrill-a-minute blockbuster stayed by Jeffrey Lyons of Lyons & Bailey's Real Talk. Rosier's got Hall of Armor, The Invincible Iron Man, and deleted and extended scenes. I'm going to open this up. Here we got a digital copy code promoting some of the other Marvel titles. And here's the disc. It's a blue disc since this is a Paramount Blu-ray. Yeah, but still, Iron Man is a awesome movie. Once this video is uploaded, I'm going to put a link in the description. That's a link to my letterbox ranking my favorite Marvel movies. So we go with Iron Man. Now next up we have The Incredible Hulk. This came out in theaters in June of 2008. This is the only Marvel movie which was distributed by Universal, because Universal owns the rights to the Hulk character, and they still currently own the rights to this movie. So I think that's why this is the only Phase 1 Marvel movie that has not gotten a sequel yet. This is also the only Marvel movie which the Hulk was played by Edward Norton. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. Back. Nope, there's no critic review on the back for this one. Once you've got alternate opening, deleted scenes, the making of the Incredible Hulk, becoming the Hulk from becoming the Abomination, anatomy of a Hulk out, from comic book to screen, Thunderbolt Files, Scene Explorer, comic book gallery, anime comic, picture-in-picture, and a feature commentary with director Louis Leterrier and Tim Roth. And I'm gonna open this up. Here we got a digital copy code right there. And here's the disc, which this disc actually has artwork, which you could see the Incredible Hulk, aka Bruce Banner. A lot of these Marvel Blu-rays, the discs don't have artwork. Some of them do, but a lot of them, probably most of them don't. Yeah, but the Incredible Hulk is not a bad movie, actually. Okay, next up we have Iron Man 2. This came out in theaters in May of 2010. This film, we know, introduced the character Black Widow, who we know is played by the sexy Scarlett Johansson. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. In the back, again, no critic review. And this is a 3-disc set, 2-disc Blu-ray and DVD. For most users, Disc 1 is a S.H.I.E.L.D. data vault, an in-depth look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a commentary, and more. Disc 2 has an Ultimate Iron Man 4-part making-of documentary, 6 behind-the-scenes featurettes, including creating Stark Expo in the origins of Black Widow and War Machine, 8 deleted scenes, and more. Yep. I'm going to open this up. And we got this digital copy code, which is long expired due to the fact that this Blu-ray is over 8 years old. And since this is a Paramount Blu-ray gray disc, here's disc 1, which is the Blu-ray disc with the movie. Here's disc 2, which is the Blu-ray disc with the bonus features. And here's disc 3, which is the DVD. Yeah, but Iron Man 2 is not a bad sequel. We know it was actually the very last Iron Man film that Jon Favreau directed. Because Jon Favreau, he directed the first Iron Man and this one. Aside from directing them, he actually has an acting role in the films, which he plays the character Happy Hogan, who is Tony's chauffeur or cab driver. But yeah, Iron Man 2, not a bad sequel. Okay, and next up we have Thor. This came out in theaters in May of 2011. Spectacular, stayed by USA Today. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. Back, from the studio that brought you Iron Man. Also says thrilling, entertaining, and cool, stayed by Harry Noels of Ain't Cool News. Most users got a commentary, Marvel One-Shot The Consult, 7 featurettes, Road to Avengers, 11 deleted scenes, and more. And this is the only Thor movie that Kenneth Branagh directed. Gonna open this up. Digital copy code. Since Paramount Blu-ray. Blu-ray disc is the blue disc, and then DVD is the gray disc. Yeah, but Thor is another great movie. I recommend it. Alright, and next up we have Captain America the First Avenger. This came out in theaters in July of 2011. This is the last Marvel movie to be distributed by Paramount, because then Disney bought Marvel. Well, technically Disney bought Marvel back in 2009, but they didn't start distributing the Marvel movies until the Avengers, which I'll show in a couple minutes. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. Back, no critic review on the back for this one. First, you got Marvel one-shot, a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. The assembly begins, 6 featurettes, delete scenes. Commentary by director Joe Johnson, director of photography Shelley Johnson, editor Jeffrey Ford, and more. And yeah, this is the only Captain America movie to be directed by Joe Johnson. Gonna open this up. Digital copy code and Blu-ray disc. Yeah, but Captain America the First Avenger is another awesome, awesome movie. Alright, next up we have the big one, the final film in Phase 1. That's The Avengers. This came out in theaters in May of 2010. This was actually I actually have a lot of stuff to say about this. This was actually the very first Marvel movie I ever saw. I saw this in theaters on Memorial Day in 2012 with my cousins. And please do not hate me for this, but I'd actually never heard of this movie, never seen any of the prior Marvel movies, or never heard any of them. I mean, I've heard of all the comic book characters, but I never heard of them. I know, please do not hate me, but it's true. I was like that, and honestly, from that viewing of the movie, I only remember bits and pieces of it. The only full scene I remember from that viewing of the movie was the scene where Thor is on this hill and he's talking to his brother Loki, which Loki is the villain in this movie. And he says something like, "Listen well, brother," and then Iron Man tackles Thor, and Loki stands there saying something like, "I'm listening." That's the only full scene I actually remember. Aside from that, I only remember bits and pieces of it, like the Battle of New York and all, but that was about it. So after I bought this Blu-ray about last December, and a couple months afterwards, around like late February, early March, once I was all caught up, I watched the previous 6 Marvel movies. I finally watched this film, and I actually loved it. It's one of the best Marvel movies ever. Like I said, I'm going to put a link in my description ranking my favorite Marvel movies, and be sure to let me know how you rank them. And, yeah, you got to remember, though, from that viewing, I'm sorry, I only remember bits and pieces of it, never seen any of the prior ones. I was 10 going on 11 at the time, and now I'm 17, so big difference. Anyway, this film, this is the first Marvel movie to be distributed by Disney, although the Paramount thing appears on here, because when Disney bought Marvel, Paramount was still set to distribute this film and Iron Man 3, but then because Disney had bought them, they had to make some kind of compromise, so Paramount got to keep some kind of share, I don't remember what it was, and they got to keep their logos. They got to keep their logos on the movies, the posters, and all the marketing material, so the Paramount logo appears on here, but this is still a Disney movie, though, because like all the Star Wars films, at the very, very end of the end credits, it says, distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. The last thing I'm going to say before I show you the rest of the packaging, this is also the first Marvel movie which the Hulk was played by Mark Ruffalo, because initially Edward Norton, he was going to return to reprise his role as the Hulk in this film, but we know he left the role because he didn't want to be remembered for playing that one character. He wanted to focus on other stuff, and because of that, he's having a very successful career right now. And apparently Mark Ruffalo was the one that Marvel always had in mind to play the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk movie, but Universal insisted on getting Edward Norton in, so when Edward Norton left the role, they were able to get Mark Ruffalo, the one they always wanted to play the Hulk, and Ruffalo has been playing the Hulk ever since then. Anyway, now I'm finally going to show you the spine. Back, a blockbuster that will blow away all your senses, stated by Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Monsters got Marvel one-shot, Item 47, original short film, a visual journey, discovering the amazing sets, groundbreaking visual effects, and stunning cinematography of this phenomenal film, a gag reel, deleted scenes, and Live to Rise Soundgarden music video. Anyway, we got a digital copy code and Blu-ray disc. Yeah, I spent a lot of time talking about this. But yeah, The Avengers, amazing movie. Alright, that's the end of Phase 1. Now we're moving on with Phase 2, starting with Iron Man 3. This came out in theaters in May of 2013. The Best Iron Man Yes, by Scott Mantz of Access Hollywood. And yes, this is my favorite of the Iron Man trilogy. This is my favorite Iron Man movie. This is the second Marvel movie to be distributed by Disney, although the Paramount thing appears on here. This is the last Disney distributed Marvel movie to do that. This is the only Iron Man movie to be directed by Shane Black, because despite the fact that Jon Favreau didn't return to direct this film, he did return to reprise his acting role as Happy Hogan in the movie. He just didn't direct it, so that's why Shane Black directed this instead. Here we got the spine, back. A superhero thrill ride is stayed by Owen Glibman or Entertainment Weekly. Rosier's got Marvel One-Shot, Agent Carter original short film, Marvel's Iron Man 3, Jarvis' a second screen experience, Deconstructing the Scene, Attack on Air Force One, exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Marvel's Thor: The Dark World, Marvel's Iron Man 3 Unmasked, gag reel, deleting extended scenes, and more. Yep. And I'm going to open this up. Here we got the Blu-ray disc, and here's the DVD disc. There's these stickers on here. I'm assuming the person who got this guy's at a Cumberland Farms or a Rite Aid store. I don't know. I got this as a Christmas present, so I'm not sure, but obviously the discs still work. Iron Man 3 is actually a really good movie. It's a great finale to a pretty good trilogy. Okay, next up we have Thor: The Dark World. This came out in theaters in November of 2013. This is the only Thor movie to be directed by Alan Taylor. It's also the first Disney distributed Marvel movie to not have the Paramount thing in here. So starting with this, every Marvel movie distributed by Disney would just only open with the Marvel Studios logo, and then that's it. Then Disney would keep their credit at the end of the movie. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. Back. Bigger, Better, Epic is stayed by Joey Parr of Geek Tyrant. Also, got Marvel One-Shot, All Hail the King, a Marvel short film, Our Brother's Journey, Thor and Loki, extended and deleted scenes, check out the hilarious gag reel, and more. Here we got our digital copy code and Blu-ray disc. Yeah, Thor: The Dark World, although I think it's a great movie, I think this is probably the weakest Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, but it's still a great movie nonetheless. Alright, and next up we have Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This came out in theaters in April of 2014. And as you can see, here's the spine. Back. No critic review on the back. Bonus features got on the front line, inside look at Captain America's Battlegrounds, on the set with Anthony Mackie, cut the check, Steve Rogers' notebook, an audio commentary, a gag reel, and deleted scenes. And this is the first Marvel movie to be directed by the Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo. They would later go on to direct a couple other Marvel movies, which I'll talk about later. And we got a digital copy code and this thing right here. Here's the disc. It's a Blu-ray disc, and it's got a little sticker here because I got this at a Rite Aid. I got this at the Rite Aid store down the street from my house. Obviously, the disc still works fine. But yeah, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, another one of the best Marvel movies. Alright, next up we have Guardians of the Galaxy. This came out in theaters in August of 2014. And as you can see, here's the spine. Back. Epic, breathtaking, stayed by Daniel Kruba of IGN. Most years got Guys of the Galaxy. Intergalactic visual effects of Guardians of the Galaxy. A gag reel, deleted scenes with commentary, and audio commentary with director James Gunn. I'm going to open this up. Here we got a digital copy code and Blu-ray disc. Yeah, the first Guardians of the Galaxy is a very great movie. Many people agree that the first Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the best Marvel movies of all time. Alright, and next up we have Avengers Age of Ultron. This came out in theaters in May of 2015. This is the only Avengers movie that I did not see in theaters. This film mostly introduced two new Avengers characters. We have Vision, who's played by Paul Bettany, and Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda, who's played by Elizabeth Olsen. Although Scarlet Witch, she made her first appearance in a mid-credit scene of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but this movie, this is her first legitimate speaking appearance and everything. Anyways, you can see here's the spine, back. Epic in every sense of the word, stayed by Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Most used from The Inside Out, Making of Avengers Age of Ultron, The Infinite Six, Global Adventure, deleted extended scenes, a gag reel, and audio commentary. And this is the last Avengers movie that Joss Whedon wrote and directed, because Joss Whedon, he also wrote and directed the first Avengers. Digital copy code and Blu-ray disc. Yeah, Although Avengers Age of Ultron, although I think this is one of the weaker Marvel movies, I still think it's a great movie nonetheless. I enjoyed all the Marvel movies. Sorry it took me so long to get into them. Anyway, now we're moving on to the final film of Phase 2. That is Ant-Man. This came out in theaters in July of 2015. This is the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. I got this at Best Buy in Warwick, Rhode Island on my 17th birthday back on July 30th, 2018 for $30. This is the exclusive art that's done by Matt Ferguson, because lately Marvel did this thing where they reissued these Best Buy exclusive steelbooks that had cover art designed by Matt Ferguson, and the day I went there, they had one for this and Captain America Civil War. At the time I bought this, I already had Civil War on Blu-ray, so I got this. The reason why I got this steelbook, because I wanted to get the regular Blu-ray with the slipcover, but I couldn't find one, so I decided to get this nice steelbook. I kept this thing on here because I want to read you the critic reviews and everything. Anyways, we're going to show you the spine. Back. Marvel has done it again. It's stated by Scott Mantz of Access Hollywood. Well, it's just got Making of an Ant-Sized Heist, a how-to guide. Let's go to the Macroverse. WHIH Newsfront, deleted and extended scenes, an audio commentary by director Peyton Reed and Paul Rudd, because Paul Rudd, he plays Ant-Man, aka Scott Lang. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to give you a better view of the spine. Here's what the back looks like. Here we got this digital copy code, and before I show you the disc, I'm going to give you a better view of the inside of the steelbook, even though it's not much, but here's the Blu-ray disc. Yeah, but Ant-Man, another spectacular movie. Alright. Next, now we're moving on to Phase 3, the phase that Marvel's currently in. It's probably my favorite Marvel phase, starting with Captain America Civil War. This came out in theaters in May of 2016. Superhero movie perfection, stated by Mike Ryan of Uproxx. This is the 3D edition, although there's a little minor tear right here and a crushed corner there. I got this off Instagram from somebody, because I got this off. I wanted to get this 3D edition because I did not like the covers for any of the other versions, especially the reissue one, the one I've been showing you that has like the new artworks, and I'll say with the one character was just the blank goldish backgrounds. You know what I'm talking about, the reissue ones. They had one for Captain America Civil War that only had Captain America and Iron Man without their mask on facing each other. I hated that cover a lot. And the regular Blu-ray covers I wasn't really too crazy about, but I like this 3D one. This is very similar to the film's original poster. And I wanted to get this version with the slipcover and everything. So there was this Instagram account. The account is no longer up for some reason. It was Stuff Blake Sells. He was selling a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays, and you could make an agreement, send like a card number or anything. Of course, I don't have credit or debit cards anyway. He was selling this for $8 plus $3 shipping, so $11. So I messaged him. I made an agreement with him. I mailed him the $11 in cash, and then after he got that, he mailed this to me. That was very nice of him. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. Back, no critic review on the back. For some reason, they don't put the critic reviews on the back for the Captain America Blu-rays. Those just got United We Stand, Divided We Fall, The Making of Captain America Civil War, Captain America The Road to Civil War, Iron Man The Road to Civil War, Open Your Mind, Marvel's Doctor Strange exclusive sneak peek, an audio commentary, a gag reel, and deleted and extended scenes. And the Russo brothers also returned to direct this film. This film we know introduced the character Black Panther, who we know is played by Chadwick Boseman, and also the third iteration of Spider-Man, aka Spider-Man, who in the Marvel movies is played by Tom Holland. This is the third portrayal of him, because the first, he was previously portrayed by Tobey Maguire in the Sam Raimi trilogy, and Andrew Garfield in the Amazing Spider-Man series. Anyway, and then here's what the actual case looks like. Anyway, we got this digital copy code. Here's the 3D Blu-ray, which I can't play because I don't have a 3D TV, but here's the regular Blu-ray, which I can play this disc. Yeah, but Captain America Civil War is one of the best Marvel movies of all time. Okay, and next up we have Doctor Strange. This came out in theaters in November of 2016. Visually transfixing, stated by Mahola Dargis of the New York Times. Fortunately, this Blu-ray has no slipcover, but that's okay. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine, the back. Unlike anything you've ever seen, stated by Eric Eisenberg, a cinema blind. Bonus features, we got A Strange Transformation, Strange Company, The Fabric of Reality, Across Time and Space, The Score Series Supreme, Marvel Studios Phase 3 exclusive look, Team Thor Part 2, an audio commentary by director Scott Derrickson, deleted scenes, and a gag reel. Wrap this up. We got a digital copy code. And here we got the Blu-ray disc. And also the DVD disc. Doctor Strange is another awesome movie. We all know the actor who plays Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. His next movie is coming out next Friday, because we know the new animated version of The Grinch is coming out, and Benedict Cumberbatch voices the Grinch in that movie, so I'm very excited to hear what he sounds like. But yeah, Doctor Strange, another awesome movie. Alright, and next up we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This came out in theaters in May of 2017. 11 out of 10, starred by Joey Park, Geek Tyrant. Now, I saw this film in theaters at the Showcase Entertainment Cinemas movie theater in South Kingston Island back on May 7th, 2017, I think it was. It was the Sunday right after it came out. Yeah, and this was actually I was actually very impressed by the sequel. Anyway, see, we got the spine, back, laugh out loud funny, stayed by, again, Eric Eisenberg of Cinema Blend. Movies features, we got Guardians Inferno music video, hilarious deleted scenes, outrageous gag reel, bonus round, making of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the audio commentary by director James Gunn. And this is currently the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie that James Gunn directed, because Gunn, he was initially supposed to return to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He even wrote a script for it, but we know he was fired by Disney back in July, because we know somebody came across old tweets he made between 2007 and 2012 that made jokes about rape and pedophile and all that. I know, they're pretty bad. And apparently, though, that caused a lot of backlash. There's even the online petition trying to get James Gunn rehired, and there's even the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag rehire James Gunn. And the cast is even fighting to get Gunn rehired. Most notably, David Bautista, I think that's how you say his name. He plays this character, Drax. And he says he even wants out of his contract if they don't at least use his script. Apparently, Disney has said that they're not going to rehire him. They even made the agreement with Kevin Feige. He's the president of Marvel and the producer for all the Marvel movies. They said they have no intentions on turning them back, rehiring him. Although recently they just released a billboard that was somebody put near Disneyland. It still says rehire James Gunn. So I don't know if they're going to rehire him, though, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Honestly, I think they should rehire him, because those jokes were made between 2007 and 2012. He even apologized for them back in 2012 before he even made the first movie. So honestly, I feel like they should rehire him. If he made the tweets now, just recently, it'd be a different story. Let me know if you think they should rehire him. And we got the digital copy code. Here's the Blu-ray disc, and here's the DVD disc. Yeah, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I was very surprised by how good the sequel was. Alright. And next up we have SpiderMan Homecoming. This came out in theaters in July of 2017. 5 stars, stayed by Sean Edwards of Fox TV, and Best Spider-Man Ever, stayed by Bill Zwecker of the Chicago Sun-Times. I saw this in theaters opening night, July 7th, 2017, at the Showcase Cinemas movie theater in Warwick, Rhode Island. And this is the first Marvel movie since Captain America, the first Avenger, to not be distributed by Disney. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures, aka Sony, because Sony owns the rights to the Spider-Man character, and they were the distributor for the previous Marvel Spider-Man movies, but they made some kind of agreement with Marvel to have Spider-Man appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They basically made the agreement that the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies where Spider-Man is the main character, like these would still be distributed by Sony, while the ones that appears in that were crossovers, like Captain America Civil War or Avengers Infinity War, those would still be distributed by Disney, and Spider-Man could still appear in them. Yep, that's nice. We all know the new spin-off, Venom, is currently playing in theaters right now. I still haven't seen it yet, and honestly, I don't really plan to, because I heard not so great things about it. It didn't get such good reviews from critics, and I heard audiences said it was okay, but I don't know. I saw the trailer for it. The trailer, it didn't really look that good from the trailer, and all the marketing, it just didn't really look that interesting, so that's why I'm going to skip it. But anyways, as you can see, here's the spine, back, and I got to turn it upside down. Wildly Entertained, by Eric Davis of Fango, and being on over 60 minutes of extras featuring filmmakers and cast, 10 deleted and extended scenes, cast gag reel, the Spidey Study Guide, a pop-up factoid track, unseen alternate Captain America PSAs, Aftermath filmmakers bridge the gap from the Battle of New York, a tangle of web Spider-Man's interrogation to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and more. Yep. And on the digital copy version, there's this thing that I don't remember what it's called. It's hosted by the film's director, John Watts. Anyway, we got a digital copy code in this thing. And these discs do have artwork since this is a Sony Blu-ray. Here's the Blu-ray disc, and here's the DVD disc. Yeah, but Spider-Man Homecoming is one of my personal favorite Marvel movies. It's just that, I don't know, because Spider-Man is in my top 5 favorite superheroes, so yeah. That. And next up we have Thor Ragnarok. This came out in theaters in November of 2017. The most fun you'll ever have at a Marvel movie, stated by Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Yep. Honestly, I think this is actually... Many people agree that this is definitely the best Thor movie. A lot of people say that this is the best of the Thor trilogy. I gotta agree. I like how instead of going for such a dark and serious tone like they did in Thor the Dark World, they went for a more lighthearted, humorous tone, which actually I think really worked. It actually made Thor a lot more likable. Anyways, you can see, here's the spine. Back, Epic is stated by John Boone of ET Online. For us, you just got deleted scenes, a gag reel, getting in touch with your inner Thor, Unstoppable Women, Hela and Valkyrie, Finding Korg, exclusive short, Team Darrell, director's commentary, and more. And this is the only Thor movie to be directed by Taika Waititi. I think that's how you say his name. There's even an introduction by him before the movie begins on here. Here we have the digital copy code. And here's the Blu-ray disc, and here's the DVD disc. Yeah, but Thor Ragnarok, definitely the best Thor movie. Definitely how Marvel redeemed Thor. Alright, and next up we... Oh, and also, Thor Ragnarok. This is the last Marvel movie that I did not see in theaters. Okay, next up we have Black Panther. This came out in theaters in February of 2018. Now, starting with this movie, I'm now going to be seeing every future Marvel movie in theaters. I saw this in theaters at the Showcase Entertainment Cinemas movie theater in South Kings, Rhode Island, with my future brother-in-law, Pat, back on February 17th. I think it was the day right after it came out. And I got this at Walmart back in May, and for some reason, Walmart's been doing this thing with a couple Disney Blu-rays where the first couple months they're out, on the top it just says Blu-ray and not Blu-ray and digital copy or Blu-ray and digital copy. And I saw for Incredibles 2 they're going to do that. Instead of it saying Blu-ray and DVD and digital copy, it's going to say Blu-ray and DVD. It's kind of weird though. I don't know why they're doing that. Very interesting. But anyways, as you can see, here's the spine. Back. One of the best superhero movies of the century, stated by Richard Roeper of the Chicago Sun-Times. You've never seen anything like it in your life, stated by Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. And Meet the New King. Well, let's just have from page to screen a roundtable discussion, deleted scenes in the gag reel, crowning of a new king, the warriors within, the Hidden Kingdom revealed, Wakanda revealed, exploring the technology, exclusive sneak peek at AntMan The Wasp, Marvel Studios, the first 10 years connecting the universe, and more. And before the movie begins on here, there's an introduction by the film's director, Ryan Coogler. Digital copy code and Blu-ray disc. Yeah, Black Panther, amazing, amazing, amazing movie. Highly, highly recommended. Alright, and next up we have the big one. Yep. Avengers Infinity War. This came out in theaters in April of 2018. This is the 4K edition, the Cinematic Universe edition. Yep. This, I think, is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie to date. If it's not the best Marvel movie, it's definitely the best Avengers movie. 10 years all leading up to this. Yep. And this is the 4K edition. This is an amazing movie. 4K edition. I decided to get this 4K edition because I like this nice shiny slipcase. I mean, the regular Blu-ray also had a nice shiny slipcover, but I like this gold border. I'm trying my best not to wear out the slipcover and everything. I'm kind of doing an okay job because I watched this Blu-ray a lot. I love this film. I'm not, like, obsessed with it, but, like, I'm sounding like, but, yeah, this was an amazing movie. I saw this in theaters also with Pat, my future brother-in-law. We saw this at the Showcase Cinemas movie theater in Warwick, Rhode Island, opening night, April 27th, 2018. It was actually it was one of the best movie experiences ever. There was a packed theater. There was, like, cheers, laughs in it. And then when the ending came, boom, like, everybody started screaming. Even one person yelled out, no. Apparently, though, actually, no, not apparently. It was a packed theater that we actually showed up 45 minutes earlier, and there was already a long line outside the auditorium the movie was set in, because the showing of the showing of the movie was scheduled to begin at, I believe, 6:30. It was a 6:30, and we showed up at the movie theater 5:45, 45 minutes just in case, and there was already a long line outside the auditorium for that screening. And actually, I still have the movie tickets. We pre-ordered the movie tickets. We got two. Just let me move this over. And yep. Yes, it was a 6:30 showing. There's even the reason why I see these numbers here, because obviously with Disney, on Disney Movie Rewards, if you took pictures of your movie tickets with a little code written on them, you get points. So that's what I did for both of them. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, one of the best movie experiences ever. Yep. Absolutely loved this movie. Anyways, you could see, here's the spine. Back, spectacular, stayed by Nick Shagler of Daily Beast, and the payoff was worth the wait, stayed by Sarah Stewart of the New York Post. Those features Strange Alchemy, The Mad Titan, Beyond the Battle Wakanda, Beyond the Battle Titan, gag reel, delete scenes, and audio commentary. And the Russo brothers also returned to direct this film. It's got a nice 4K case. We've got this Disney Movie Club thing, and I think for Disney Awards. Here's the disc. Here's the 4K Blu-ray, which has artwork. You can see, the 4K disc has artwork, which you can see Tony Stark, a.k.a. Iron Man, Bruce Banner, a.k.a. the Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Wong. And here's the regular Blu-ray. Like I said, can't play this disc because I don't have a 4K TV, but I can still watch the film from this Blu-ray disc. Yeah, but Avengers Infinity War, my all-time favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, although it's my second favorite superhero movie, only behind The Dark Knight. But yeah, but this is still a fantastic movie. And finally, we have AntMan and the Wasp. This came out in theaters in July of 2018. I saw this in theaters at the Showcase Entertainment Cinemas movie theater in South Kingstown, Rhode Island, back on July 8th, 2018. This is 4K lenticular. Nice. Yep. Cinematic Universe Edition. This is definitely the breath of fresh air that you need after Infinity War. Anyways, you can see here's the spine. Back. Marvel Studios at its best, stayed by Molly Freeman of Screen Rant. Well, you just got deleted scenes, a gag reel, back in the ant suit, Scott Lang, a suit of her own, The Wasp, subatomic superheroes, Hank and Jack, quantum perspective, and much more. And before the movie begins, there's also an introduction by Peyton Reed, because Peyton Reed, director of the first Ant-Man, he returned to direct this film. By the way, if I didn't mention, on the Infinity War Blu-ray, there's also an introduction by the Russo brothers. Okay. We got the digital copy code and this thing. Here's the 4K disc, which I can't play, but it has artwork. You can see Ant-Man, a.k.a. Scott Lang, and the Wasp, a.k.a. Hope Van Dyne. And here's the regular Blu-ray. I can still watch the film from this disc, though. Yep. Yeah, Ant-Man the Wasp, definitely the breathalyzer you need after Avengers Infinity War. And although we do know this is not the last Marvel movie, because we have a bunch more. We have Captain Marvel, which comes out March 8th, 2019. We also have the fourth Avengers movie, or Infinity War Part 2. They still have not announced the title yet, but we're supposed to get it by around next month. That comes out May 3rd, 2019. And then we also have Spider-Man Far From Home, which comes out July 5th, 2019. We have a bunch of more Marvel movies. I don't think Marvel Studios is going to be stopping anytime soon due to the fact that it's the highest grossing film franchise. It's all of its movies together have made over $15 billion. I don't think Marvel will be stopping anytime soon. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, there we go. Hopefully this will be a successful upload of my Marvel Cinematic Universe Blu-rays. Hope you all enjoy, and be sure to let me know in the comments what your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie is. Like I said, I'm going to put the link in my letterbox ranking my favorite Marvel movies.